Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family, Ozzie, Harriet, David, and Ricky. Here is Ozzie, who plays the part of Ozzie Nelson. And, of course, his lovely wife, Harriet, as Harriet Nelson. The older of the Nelson boys, David, appears as David Nelson. And his younger brother, the irrepressible Ricky, played by Ricky Nelson. The Nelson's next-door neighbor, Thorny, is played by Tom DeFore.
Here, Mom. You can just put this away as is.
Yes, so I see.
Can I be of any help?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can.
Oh, well, I guess it was my fault for asking. What do you want me to do?
Get out of my way.
Oh, well, I always was a good one for being backward about stepping forward.
You're telling me.
I wish you wouldn't mention that word any more than you have to, Pop.
What word is that, Dave?
Backward. Reminds me of the unpleasant fact that we're having a backwards dance at school.
It's a fine kettle of fish. Invite a girl to a dance, they won't even let you look at her while you're dancing.
That has nothing to do with dancing backwards. It's a dance where the girls invite the boys.
You having a tough time deciding who you'll go with, Dave?
Oh, not exactly, Pop.
Well, get your shoes shined, your suit pressed well ahead of time.
Oh, I don't think that'll be necessary.
Oh, sure, you want to be well dressed.
Well, the way it looks now, I don't think I'll be going to the dance.
Not going?
Say, I thought you and Ricky were going to go over to high school and play ball this morning.
Yes, we are.
Oh, fine. I think maybe I'll go up and watch you play.
I've got a little job for you, dear.
For me?
Well, you did offer your assistance before, remember?
Well, yes, but I was high on maple syrup at the time.
I think this would be a good day for you to clean out the garage, okay?
Well, okay, but believe me, I'm much better at watching baseball.
Hey, David,
Yeah?
how come you're not going to the school dance tonight?
Oh, it's a long story.
Long story with a short title. No invitation.
Look, Ricky, I told you it was a long story. Has a lot of psychological aspects to it that you wouldn't understand.
I suppose you think you intoxicate me with those big words.
Here's your mitt. Let's go.
Psychological aspects. Boy, you sound like Prunella Dipple.
What do you know about Prunella?
She's a school brain, isn't she?
So what? She's a
Very intelligent girl.
That's what's wrong with you.
Your school. There's too many intelligent girls. None of them are dumb enough to ask you to the school dance.
Look, Ricky, just because I said I wasn't going, you immediately assume I wasn't invited. That's what's known as jumping to a hasty conclusion.
I know. That's also what starts fights in bar rooms.
Say, Harriet, did David say anything to you about a dance at school tonight?
No, I don't believe so.
No, they're having one of those backwards dances, you know, where the girls invite the boys.
Oh, sure, they...
It used to be fun.
Yeah, I thought so.
Hope David has a good time.
Well, I wouldn't count on that too much.
What do you mean?
Well, he's not going to the dance.
Oh, that's too bad. I wonder why.
Well, evidently he hasn't been invited.
That seems strange. A nice boy like David.
Well, he didn't seem too upset about it. He'd probably just as leave, get to bed early. You know, baseball season's coming on.
I suppose you're right. Seems strange, though, because he usually goes to the school dances. He dances very well, too.
You know, it could be that the girls figured that David was so popular, there was no sense inviting him. You know, each girl probably figured that a couple of other girls had already asked him. I know that happened to me once. We had this dance in school, and nobody asked me, and I kept telling gee, I wonder why nobody invited him.
Poor kid. You say he didn't seem upset about it.
No, he sort of shrugged it off, but golly, what else could he do? He does dance pretty well, doesn't he?
Oh, yes. David dances beautifully. Remember last summer up at the lodge?
Oh, yeah. Do you think I ought to ask him why he isn't going?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. If he hasn't been invited, you're liable to embarrass him.
Oh, heck, it's only 10 o'clock. I mean, the dance isn't until 8 o'clock tonight. There'll probably be a dozen girls ask him by then. Now,
Hi, Oz.
hi, Tony.
Am I interrupting anything?
No, I'm just shining up David's shoes. You know how kids are. They let everything go the last minute, and I don't want him to go to the dance tonight with dirty shoes.
Oh, is Dave going to the dance tonight?
Well, I say, you know how kids are. I mean, one minute he says he's not going, but I think he'll probably be invited, or decide to go at the last minute.
Sure. My boy Will just took his suit down to be pressed a few minutes ago.
Oh.
That kid of mine is turning out to be quite a ladies' man.
Oh, well, that's good.
I don't know who he's finally decided to go with tonight. You know, it's one of those turnabout deals where the girls invite the boys.
Yeah, I know.
Makes it pretty tough on a kid as popular as Will, though.
Well, you say he's definitely going.
Oh, yes. He mentioned the girl's name, but don't think I'd ever heard of her before. That is the girl he finally decided to go with.
Oh, yeah.
Who invited Dave?
As I say, it's possible he might decide not to go. I mean, he takes his baseball pretty seriously, and he might figure he ought to get a good night's sleep and keep in training.
Well, the baseball season hasn't started yet.
Well, I know, but Dave isn't one of those kids who waits to the last minute. I mean, he likes to be prepared for things well in advance.
Oh, well, how come his shoes aren't shined?
What makes you so sure David wasn't invited?
I didn't say David wasn't invited.
Well, I know, but, I mean, a lot of the most popular girls in school will wait until the last minute, the afternoon of a dance, and invite some of the most popular girls in the school.
Well, Oz, isn't that kind of dangerous? By that time, all the most popular boys have been invited.
Well, Thorny, for goodness sakes, let these kids run their dances the way they want to. I mean, if these girls want to take a chance on losing out on a popular kid like David, for goodness sakes, let them do what. Don't interfere. Don't be a meddling parent, Thorny.
Are you sure David hasn't been invited?
Yeah. I mean, look at the time. The dance is tonight. What's the matter with those girls over at that school anyway?
Well, Oz, I wouldn't get so upset about it. Maybe David isn't much of a dancer, but he'll snap out of it.
Thorny, he's a very good dancer. I taught him myself. I suppose I'm a poor dancer.
Now, I didn't say that. If the turkey trot and the bunny hug ever come back in style, Oz, you'll be terrific. I'll see you later.
Oh, yeah? Well, for your information, I'll bet you David is invited to the dance tonight.
Well, Oz, I certainly hope he is. And if he is invited, tell him to stop over and see old Arthur Murray Thornberry, and I'll give him a few pointers.
Harriet?
Yes, dear?
Are you busy?
Well, yes, I am, but I'm always happy to have an excuse to stop. What's your trouble?
Oh, well, I was just outside talking to Thorny.
Yeah, I figured as much. You've got that gosh darn Thornberry look on your face.
Well, I know, but I mean, after all, Will is a nice kid and all that. But how come all these girls have invited Will and not a single girl has invited our David?
I'm sure I don't know. I do wish David had been invited, though. I know he wants to go.
My golly, Harriet, I think there comes a time when it's a parent's duty to not interfere, but to step in and protect his child.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm looking for the lodge book, that book with all the addresses and phone numbers of the Lodge brothers.
Why? Is there a meeting tonight?
No, but I'm going to call up every member I know who has a daughter. There must be some girl willing to take David to this big dance. Yes. Oh, sure, I understand. I see. Well, I just thought I'd call and let you know that David's available. Yeah, well, thanks a lot. I'll be seeing you, Fred.
Well, that takes care of your lodge group, doesn't it?
I'm afraid so. Now, where's the Christmas card list?
Oh, why don't we just forget the whole thing?
No, sir. I'm going to find a date for David for that dance if I have to call everybody we know.
You have called everybody we know.
Wait a minute. What about the Dipples?
The Dipples?
Well, sure, you remember. We used to be in the same bridge club with them. Wally and Marge Dipple.
Oh, yes. Well, we haven't seen them in over a year.
Oh, Harriet, it hasn't been that long.
Well, almost that long. Don't you remember they dropped out of the bridge club about a year ago? We haven't seen them since.
Oh, I know, but Wally and I play golf together all the time. We played just last... Well, it couldn't have been more than... Well, actually, a year isn't so long.
Well, I suppose you could call him.
I've been meaning to get in touch with Wally anyway. I bet the Dipple's daughter would love to go to the dance with David. Harriet?
Yes, dear?
Do the Dipples have a daughter?
Oh, yes. She's about David's age, too.
Well, now there you are. Here's Thorny's boasting all over the neighborhood about the glamour queen that his boy Will is going to take to the dance. Just wait till he sees David's date.
She's really something, huh?
I'll say she. What does she look like, Harriet?
You mean the Dipple's daughter?
Yeah. Is she, have you seen her?
Yes, once or twice. She's a nice-looking girl, as I recall.
Prettier than the girl that Will is taking?
Who is Will taking?
Gee, I don't know. Oh, well, it really doesn't matter. The important thing is that David gets to go to the dance. So I'll just phone Wally right now and set the... Say, wait a minute, Harriet, I have a much better idea. Instead of phoning him, why don't I stop down to his office to see him in person? You know, just have a little chat. Yeah, I think that'd be much smoother, more nonchalant.
Well, okay. You do what you think is best, dear.
Listen, when David gets back, tell him to have his blue serge suit all pressed and his dancing shoes ready.
Look, I don't mean to sound like a pessimist, but what if the Dipple's daughter already has a date for the dance?
Well, yes, it could be kind of a setback. But I told you Dave was going to the dance, and if the Dipple's daughter has a date, that leaves only one other girl he can go with.
Who's that?
What are you doing tonight, dear? Yeah, I'll get out and see you.
Who? Oh, fine. Send him in. Well, welcome, stranger.
I was just downtown, thought I'd stop in and see you. You're not too busy.
Oh, not at all. Sit down.
Oh, fine.
Gosh, it's been a long time, Oz.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? How's the golf game?
Oh, pretty good lately. You know, I've been playing once a week. I've really got that old handicap down there. I'm a 27 now.
Say, whoa, we'll have to play some weekend.
Yeah, why don't we? How's the family?
Oh, they're just fine, thanks, fine. How's your family?
Oh, they're fine, fine.
Hey, that daughter of yours, she must be quite a young lady by now.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, Prunella's quite a girl.
Oh.
How are your two boys?
Oh, they're big, husky guys. David is 17 now.
No.
Yeah?
Well, that's just about the age of my girl.
Say, they must be in about the same class in school, I imagine.
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Gosh, how the time flies. One day they're toddling around the house, and next thing you know, they're off to some dance.
Don't I know? Oh, speaking of dances, did you hear about
Yes,
the dance?
I did. Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed you were going to mention the dance at school tonight.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. I hear it's one of those dances where the girls ask the boys.
Oh, no, thank you. Yes, it is. And, you know, that makes it a little difficult for my son, David. What I mean is David is more the athletic type. You see, he's never shown much interest in dances before, and I guess the girls are afraid of being turned down.
Now that you mention it, this girls ask the boys idea is kind of tough on my Prunella, too. She's such a bashful child. You know, I'll bet she hasn't even gotten up enough nerve to ask a boy yet.
Say, maybe we ought to get those two kids together.
Well, maybe so. I know Prunella likes to dance.
Well, so does David.
Yeah. Well, of course, I couldn't just take it upon myself to make a date for Prunella.
Oh, no. I couldn't just take it upon myself to make a date for David, either.
Yeah, no, because I'm a firm believer in giving kids a free hand.
Oh, that's the way I feel exactly.
But I do think children need guidance.
Oh, absolutely.
Guidance, but not interference.
Well, but not interference. Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Well, I could sort of guide Prunella to the telephone and have her give David a call. I mean, that wouldn't be making a date for her.
No. And then I could sort of guide David over the telephone when it rings and suggest that he answer it.
And the rest is up to them.
Up to them, without any interference from us.
Yeah. Of course, she is such a shy child that perhaps I could give her an opening line. I mean, to break the ice, like, would you care to go to the dance tonight?
Well, I'd love to. That is, David accepts your Prunella's kind invitation to attend the dance tonight.
I'll see that Prunella's ready at 8 o'clock.
Fine, and I'll see that David is there about 8 o'clock.
It's a date.
Isn't it remarkable what kids can accomplish if you just let them work things out for themselves? I'll tell you.
All right, Oz, goodbye.
Ozzie?
No, ma'am, it's us.
Oh, hi, boys.
Boy, something sure smells good.
It's right here. I baked a chocolate cake.
Oh, yeah. How come?
Stop asking silly questions, David. Just sit down and eat it.
What's the special occasion, Mom?
Oh, no special occasion. I just felt like baking a chocolate cake this afternoon.
Hey, that works out swell. I just feel like eating a chocolate cake this afternoon.
It feels good.
It sure does.
Well, there's plenty here.
Here. I understand they're having a dance at school tonight, Dave.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those deals where the girls invite the boys. But I'm not going to go, though.
Weren't you invited?
Oh, yeah, a couple girls invited me.
Oh, well, then why aren't you going?
Well, this one girl invited me, but I didn't want to go with her, so I told her I couldn't make it. And then when Nancy Baker invited me, I couldn't very well accept her invitation.
Well, that was very thoughtful of you, Dave. Then you have to stay home?
Oh, no, I explained the thing to Nancy, so she and I are going to a show.
Oh, looks like we're having a party here.
How about a piece of chocolate cake?
Oh, yeah, that sounds fine. Have there been any phone calls for anybody, Harriet?
No, were you expecting one?
Well, in a way, mission accomplished, Harriet.
Oh, I have some news for you, dear. David was invited to the dance at the school tonight. In fact, he received a couple of invitations.
Oh, really?
Yes, you see, this one girl invited him, and he didn't want to go with her. So when Nancy Baker called, why, he had to turn her down, too, to keep from hurting the first girl's feelings.
Oh, how about that?
I think that was very chivalrous, don't you?
Oh, yeah, it was very chivalrous, but, well, golly, Dave, you'll be sitting home tonight when you could be out having a good time.
Oh, I'm going to have a good time. Nancy Baker and I are going to a show.
Oh, well, I guess that works out fine then, doesn't it?
Sure, I still get a date with Nancy, and I don't hurt Prunella Dipple's feelings.
Prunella Dipple? You mean she's the girl you turned down?
Yeah, Pruny's a nice kid, but she's a class brain.
Well, it might do you some good to spend a little time with a girl like that.
Not me. You know what she wanted to do? She wanted to leave the dance early and take a walk through the aquarium.
Well, the aquarium is a very interesting place.
It probably is if you're a fish. I'll get...
I should have gotten it. It was probably for David. Who was it for, Dave? What did she say?
It's for you, Pop.
Are you sure she asked for me?
No, it's a man.
Well, he wasn't... What the heck? Hello?
Hello, Oz. This is Wally Dippo.
Oh, yeah, hi, Wally.
Say, I'm afraid I have a little bad news. It seems that my daughter has already asked a boy to the dance tonight.
Well, she has? Well, that's one of those things that can't be helped.
Well, I'm sure sorry. I always thought Prunella was bashful, but evidently she got up nerve enough to ask this Thornberry boy.
Thornberry? Would that be Will Thornberry by any chance?
Yeah, that's right. You know him?
Well, yes, we do. Oh, and he's a fine boy. I'm sure they'll hit it off very well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure sorry. I hope you'll explain this to David.
Oh, certainly, Wally, and I know he'll understand. Thanks a lot for calling.
All right, goodbye.
Who's that, Pop?
Oh, it's just a friend of mine, Ricky.
Pretty funny guy, huh?
Yes, the conversation did have a humorous side to it. But there's a comedian next door who really kills me. In fact, I think I'll go over there right now and have a good laugh.
You know, sometimes I think I'm a chip off the old block. And other times I think the old block is chipped.
Doggone it, it's still busy.
What's the matter, Dave?
I've been trying to call Prunella Dipple, but her line's always busy.
Oh, why the sudden interest in Prunella?
Well, it's a funny thing. Prunella always seems so studious looking, I never paid much attention to her before. Those kind of girls always scare me anyway.
Well, I don't see why. Just because a girl's intelligent doesn't mean she can't be attractive, too.
Well, anyway, last night Nancy Baker and I were sitting in the malt shop, and Prunella and Will Thornberry walked in. Why, I hardly even recognized her.
She looked pretty good, huh?
I'll say. Well, I guess I better get going.
Are you going to drive by Prunella's house again?
No, I thought I'd stop by the aquarium and the museum. I think I'm going to be seeing a lot of those places from now on.
Where did you get those?
They don't have any glass in them. I thought they'd give me kind of a studious look.